Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clark on YouTube. Oh no! This is the most fun that I have had in my entire life, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because of each and every one of you who are Descendants and Zombies fans who have found this YouTube channel, who love these videos so much. This YouTube channel has exploded and exceeded the expectations of every critic that I've ever encountered in my career. This has honestly been the most fun that I've had in my entire life as my existence as a Disney fan, because I am like each and every one of you. I am so passionate about my love for Disney, Descendants, Zombies, pop culture, anything pop culture. You guys are amazing, and you are the most respectful, most lovable fans in the entire world when it comes to Disney and Descendants, because you never ever quit on this show. You never ever quit on me. You put me in mind of the Batman Dark Knight Rises movie from 2012 when Batman fell into the abyss. And all of you came together because you wanted to see a hero. You wanted to see a hero rise again, and you pulled me out of the abyss. When I thought that I had hung up my headset for the final time, you brought me back just to talk about Descendants and Zombies. And from where I choose to look at it, from my perspective as a narrator, there is nobody out there in this world that you would rather hear, with the exception of probably Dove Cameron or Kylie Contrell, talking about and narrating his thoughts on Descendants and Zombies, which I have proudly done for each and every one of you for the better part of the last year and a half. I've been podcasting for a very long time, for the better part of 30 years. And this is the most fun that I've ever had in my entire life, because I share the same passion as each and every one of you do for Descendants and Zombies and Disney as a whole. I have almost 2,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be honest with each and every one of you. I don't deserve to have 2,000 subscribers. I'm just a guy who is just very passionate about Disney and Descendants and Zombies, just as each and every one of you are. And what got on my nerves about a year and a half ago was I saw all these YouTube channels that were using AI to distribute Descendants and Zombies content, and I thought to myself, you guys deserve better. So I put a lot of money behind my YouTube channel and my creative ability and this video creation that I was doing. And I came out with LED strip lights. I bought a new camera, a Logitech Brio, which I didn't have 15, 20 years ago, and the video quality is tremendously improved. I have a brand new microphone. I'm investing in a new game chair in a couple of weeks. At the end of it, I had over $4,200 plus invested into this YouTube channel. And that is more than you're ever going to hear from any other YouTube creator out there, because they don't reveal themselves. They don't be honest with each and every one of you. And all they want you to do, all they want from you is for you to hit their subscribe button. That's pretty much all they want out of you. And once they get that from you, they don't care anymore. I have never cared about monetization. I have never cared about being the top of the proverbial food chain on YouTube. All I've ever cared about is what you love in the way of content. And I thought to myself about a year and a half ago, maybe I should start posting more Descendants and Zombies videos. In particular, that in the way of Dove Cameron videos, because there wasn't enough Dove Cameron content on YouTube that you guys loved so much. So I threw up one or two Dove Cameron videos. They exploded overnight, seemingly with over 1,000 views. And then I moved on from that to Descendants. Exploded overnight with over 1,000 views. No matter if I was talking about Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, Kylie Contrell, Mila Baker. Thousands and thousands of views. Just last summer I had accumulated over 120,000 plus views on this YouTube channel, which was freaking insane. I couldn't even believe it. And when I redistributed this YouTube channel for the first time about 3.5 months ago, I came back with 570 subscribers after taking a brief absence and reprieve from this YouTube channel. And now I've almost tripled that with over 1,600 subscribers. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you're going to want to do that if you love Descendants and Zombies as much as the next person in line. Because there are over 10 million fans of Descendants and Zombies on YouTube. Now, I'm not trying to attract over 10 million people, by no means. But it would be really cool if over 10 million people did gravitate to this YouTube channel, because I know you share the same passion and love for Descendants and Zombies as what I do. I can honestly say, and I've experienced a lot as a podcaster, I'm probably one of the last left of my generation of podcasters, because I started podcasting in August of 1999, and I remember talking about Mandy Moore and her music career, and seeing the Backstreet Boys and the Spice Girls skyrocket to superstardom. And it's been a long time since then. I used to broadcast out of my mom's basement when my mom used to finance my YouTube channel for me, or my podcast for me, and now almost 30 years later, I'm on YouTube with over 2,000 subscribers, and my only wish is that my mom could be here. Both my parents, my mom and my dad, who passed away, could be here to see the skyrocket in popularity of this YouTube channel. But I know they're watching somewhere out there tonight, wherever they are, just like each and every one of you are watching this. And I can only hope that you love this YouTube channel, because I don't prepare anything. I just speak from my heart, and I can only hope that somebody loves this content as much as what each and every one of you do, because I know that you do, and I know that you appreciate this YouTube channel, and because you appreciate it so much, that's why I'm here every day and night posting these videos for you, because I hope that someone out there is going to find this YouTube channel. And here's the cool thing about this YouTube channel: you can make that happen by hitting the subscribe button. So the YouTube algorithm will recognize that, and the YouTube algorithm will push this YouTube channel further out there so some Descendants and Zombies fans can find it. I don't know about you guys, but conveniently enough, I live on an island, which there are only two ways off of, either by boat that can sink, plane that can crash, or you can drive a car and you can still crash. But the cool thing about me is I have this thing where I either live 5 minutes away from theaters that have hauntingly burnt to the ground, or soda plantations that could explode. I've always had that thing about me, so it fits very appropriately with the synopsis of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. Now with this new group of individuals being introduced, the Daywalkers, the Nightwalkers, vampires. We saw aliens in Zombies 3, werewolves by Zombies 2, the introduction of zombies into the Disney's franchise that blew up. I've always found that stuff really cool, just as much as each and every one of you have. And these really cool messages of standing up for what you believe in, your dreams, standing up to bullies that are trying to knock you down every single day. I think Disney has done a fantastic job in doing that, and been inspirations to each and every one of us, whether it be through our passion for dancing and music, which I know a lot of you are inspired by. It's really cool. I even have dance studios now subscribing to this YouTube channel, which is an amazing honor. I want to put it out there that it's an incredible honor of mine to be able to be reaching so many dance studios now that are subscribing to this YouTube channel for their passion and their love for Tangled, Mandy Moore, Descendants and Zombies. It's really cool to be reaching so many different age demographics, and a tremendous honor of mine. And I want to put it out there too that I'm going to do my best continuously to keep reviewing this stuff for people who deserve the best quality videos produced and the best quality commentaries that you can possibly find anywhere, because I know that I have a huge responsibility as a YouTube creator, which is sometimes very challenging because you have to kind of really break through to the algorithm. You really have to find your audience. You really have to come into your niche. And I think I've found my niche, and I think I've cracked the YouTube algorithm with these videos, because these videos are absolutely gorgeous, they are absolutely beautiful, and they are full of exuberance and entertainment. And through my ability to transmit my exuberance over this podcast microphone, I have reached so many people from so many walks of lives who have shared their stories, who have connected with this YouTube channel, and even if they couldn't connect with this YouTube channel, they have found a way to connect this YouTube channel and find the content they appreciate, whether that be a passion and love for Dove Cameron, where all of this started. About a year and a half ago, I started posting Dove Cameron videos that seemingly blew up overnight with 1,000 views. Kylie Control videos that seemingly blew up overnight with 1,000 views. My views on Zombies and Meg Donnelly, who I'm a huge fan and supporter of. She did a lot of movies in Toronto. They shot the original Zombies trilogy 1 through 3 here in Toronto before relocating to New Zealand, which is a beautiful place in its own right. I've interviewed a lot of people from New Zealand. If you ever have an opportunity to go to New Zealand or Toronto, take yourself up on either opportunity. Beautiful places, beautiful locations. I remember when I was a kid being in Toronto, my mom had just passed away from her battle with cancer, and I was trying to, put my life together. And I remember being in Toronto for a couple of times, and it was an amazing experience of my own. So I can only imagine what these kids are going through. Beautiful, beautiful experience, and I hope they never, ever forget it. And I can honestly say that this has been an experience that I know personally that I will never, ever forget. I have so much respect for each and every one of you who have subscribed to this YouTube channel, who have found this content. Some of you have even been sharing the videos. It's unbelievable, and I can't even begin to put into words. You guys will never live long enough to know how much I appreciate each and every one of you, because I could be just a guy posting videos on YouTube that could be getting no response, that could be getting no likes, no subscribers, and I'm sitting here tonight with over 1,000 subscribers and about to cross the 2,000 subscriber milestone, which is a huge accomplishment for a YouTube channel, because there are YouTube channels that don't even see those numbers. There are YouTube channels that don't even get that kind of response. But because of each and every one of you, I am receiving that response, and I can't thank you enough for it. 10 years ago when I first saw Descendants, I said, this is going to be something miraculous. This is going to be something that's going to explode in popularity, because the VK kids that were going to be portrayed by Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, Cameron Boyce, who we all miss. Man, do I ever miss Cameron Boyce. And I know there are a lot of people here, too, that miss Cameron Boyce just as much as what I do. I loved him on Jesse and Bunked. I thought he was one of the most exuberant people in the world that could light up any room that he was ever in, that could bring the best out of anyone he ever worked with. And I remember watching him on Jesse and Bunked. I remember 2013 being a huge year for Debbie Ryan, because she didn't want to go from Disney after Sweet Life of Zack and Cody had finished up. The original show, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where they lived in a hotel, was huge. Sweet Life on Deck was just as huge. And I remember her being so packed with emotion because she didn't want to go, and they gave her the opportunity to be a Jessie Prescott on this show called Jessie. Nobody knew it was going to explode, and because of people like Peyton List and Cameron Boyce who came in to fill voids, it was so amazing, and it was just so amazing seeing them get their own show eventually called Bunked. Pamela O'Connell did a great job with that one. And then he goes from that to being on Descendants, and his representation of the son of Cruella de Vil, who I was never the biggest fan of. Cruella de Vil was never a villain that caught my eye, but I think he was one of the VK kids that could represent a villain of such insignificance and bring the best out of not only himself, but the villain he was representing. I mean, Jay, of course, portrayed by Boo Boo Stewart, did a great job representing the son of Jafar, but by far he was one of the best to ever do it. And I give him a tremendous amount of credit. That is one guy who I've said nothing but good things about on this YouTube channel, and I will continue to do it for each and every person who ever said they were a huge fan of Cameron Boyce. Through tribute videos, through remembering his birthday, the day of his passing. It was just so unfortunate. I remember being at home in 2019, and I remember reading the story of Cameron Boyce's passing and how emotionally overcome his family was, his friends were. I think it was because of a lack of understanding of just, because they were so young. And I don't think anyone should ever have to go through that at such a young age. I mean, who can understand why somebody has to die at such an early age? And I remember everybody coming together, and it was really like a beacon of light that lit up the entire world and made you so proud to be a Disney fan. And I give everybody so much credit for just being so supportive of his life, his legacy, his family. You guys were amazing. And when I see each and every one of you coming out for these meet and greets, and going to be seeing you coming out for this tour with 43 arena dates scheduled for the summer of 2025, you guys deserve all the credit in the world. You're some of the best fans ever, and I don't think you're ever given enough credit. And that's something that you're never going to hear from any other podcaster out there who creates these Descendants and Zombies videos. Thank you so much for keeping this franchise alive. Thank you so much for keeping this YouTube channel alive, and thank you so much for the love and support that you have given this YouTube channel, because I'm just a guy who loved Dove Cameron as much as what each and every one of you did. In 2013, I don't think there was a single episode of Liv and Maddie that I ever missed. In 2013, I don't think there was ever a single episode of Berserk, which was pretty much Disney's answer to iCarly, that I ever missed. I don't think there ever was an episode of Coop and Cammy Ask the World, which was Ruby Rose Turner's first breakout role on Disney, coming over from doing commercials, that I ever missed. If there was something with Kylie Control's name on it, Ruby Rose Turner's name on it, and especially Dove Cameron's name on it, I never missed it. I broke my arm a decade and a half ago trying to get home for a Dove Cameron show, and I still have the scar on my arm from that, but it's a memory that I've held with me ever since. I went to hospital. I made it home for the repeat of that show that I intended to watch before breaking my arm. I was on the way home. It was really dusky out. I couldn't see a thing in front of me. But I always used to go out of my way to be there to support these stars just as much as each and every one of you do. So that's how I know how much a star and supporting them have meant to each and every one of you have been over the years. I just watched Kylie Control doing some random calls to some fans on her TikTok live show. And I remember, the emotion that went behind that from all these fans who wanted to be actresses just like Kylie Control because they felt so inspired by her. And just watching her connect with these fans gave me a greater appreciation for who they are as individuals. Forget being Red, forget being Jasmine on Raven's Home, forget being Liv and Maddie, two characters on a show that she represented two characters on. Dove Cameron, Kylie Control would always go out of their way to connect with her fans. It could be just a simple tweet on Twitter at the time. It could be a shout out on X. It could be a TikTok live. They always go out of their way to connect with fans, and I wish more Disney stars would have done that in the generations that made Disney exceed the expectations of anybody, because they definitely did that. This new generation of Disney stars have definitely received their fair share of criticism, but I don't think there's any room for criticizing a star like Kylie Contrell, who did such a fantastic job representing the Queen of Hearts daughter, Red, who worked with everybody and brought the best out of everybody she ever worked with. I mean, Jennifer Fang did a great job in her own right, producing The Rise of Red, and this expansion on the franchise we'll see by summer 2026, which I'm really excited about. But it's truly unbelievable. I don't think anyone would have ever been able to represent the Queen of Hearts daughter, Red, as effectively as what Kylie Control did, or any character Kylie Control ever had the opportunity to represent. You can go back as far as Gabby Duran on Gabby Duran and the Unsittables, where she would babysit aliens and be caught up in some of the most unpredictable and unescapable predicaments in her lifetime. But I think every show that Kylie Control ever was on taught us a valuable life lesson and was getting us ready for what we were going to have to face. Kylie was beautiful. She was a rapper ever before she was a Disney star. She's not as successful as Eminem, who's the most successful rapper in the world by no means, with over, I think, 63.5 million albums sold. Coming behind him is Tupac, with I think 36.5, and then Drake, and who I think Drake and somebody else are tied for the third or fourth position on that. It's crazy. Drake and Jay-Z with 33.6, and I know that because I'm a DJ. I was a DJ for years. I had so many different jobs, so many different occupations, but one of them was a DJ, and I remember the numbers for specific years, which is why I can remember one of Kylie Contrell's inspirations being Destiny's Child. Their first album was released on February 17th, 1998, and that was when bands like the Backstreet Boys and the Spice Girls were at the heights of their popularity. The Backstreet Boys will go down in history as being the most successful boy band and revered in history. May 6, 1996, their first album dropped. I have this vampire-like memory. I probably should be in Dawn of the Vampires, because I have this vampire-like memory and can remember so many dates vividly in the back of my mind. I used to be this guy that used to sit in the back of class, and when the teacher used to ask specific questions, I would raise my hand and be like, ooh, I know the answer. And I'm sure a lot of you are like that too. It was a whole lot of fun just experiencing that. The music, this one was never intended to be a musical. I don't think either Descendants or Zombies was intended to be a musical, but it was so powerful because of the music that Kenny Ortega suggested they added into the score and the script. It was intended to be an action adventure, and it just blew up. And then stars that were auditioning for specific roles never were intended to be stars like Evie and Mal, and Kylie Control was never intended to be Red, and then the roles were reversed and changed up. And because of all the changes they made at the last possible minute, the last possible second, here we are a decade and a half later after Kylie Control watched the first Descendants premiere in the 4th grade. God, it's been over 30 years since I was in the 4th grade. I was in the 4th grade in 1995, and that was in the same generation. The Backstreet Boys were getting ready to explode. The Spice Girls were coming onto the scene. The Toy Story movie had premiered for the first time. Power Rangers was at the top of the box office. The Power Rangers TV series was exploding. We were 4 years away from the premiere of SpongeBob SquarePants. And fast forward, Kylie Control's in the 4th grade, and she's making YouTube videos, watching the premiere of Descendants, wanting to be like her favorite character on that show, which was Mel. Huge inspiration for Kylie Control. And Kylie Control actually went on to become one of the most successful Descendant stars of all time. It's one thing to be immortalized as an actress, but when you see a doll inspired by your acting credibility, it is unbelievable. And I remember all the emotion that went behind Bridget and Red and Kylie Control and Ruby Rose Turner when they saw their doll premiere on the shelves of toy stores and online. It was incredible. I remember seeing them unpackaging them and unveiling them for the first time ever. So much emotion. I always wanted my own action figure, but I never had the opportunity to have one. I was really big into video games when I was a kid too. I wish there could be some software developed for franchises, Descendants and Zombies, like we saw years ago from movies like Toy Story and Pocahontas, because Disney Interactive at the time, before being revamped, was incredible. I think in 1995 they came up with Disney Interactive, and so many great games were produced, like Aladdin, The Lion King, Toy Story on PC, and then eventually came Steam. And everything's been cut back significantly financially from Disney because of their financial state now, but I really wish Descendants and Zombies could have had some interactive software, some games released, because it would have been so much fun. You know, it's one thing to see Toy Story and Pocahontas released years ago, about 30 years ago, but can you imagine if the same kind of technology and ideas would have been in the heads for people for games for Descendants and Zombies? So much opportunity in the way of merchandise. You know, I remember when Hannah Montana and Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez had so much merchandise from Wizards and Hannah Montana with jackets and guitars. I mean, they had everything, even perfume line, fragrancy lines were released for this one. And I think we could see fragrancy lines released for Descendants. We've seen Halloween costumes and stuff. They really capitalized on this kind of thing because Disney's had an opportunity to cash out every opportunity they could get their hands on. But I would love to have seen more done with this one because it was just an awesome franchise. There's so much of an opportunity to create. You know, I don't buy that they're running out of creatures, supernatural creatures for the Zombies 4, Down of the Vampires movie after this one is over. You know, they've seen their final hurrah. That's what a lot of critics have said about it, but I don't buy into it. It's pretty much a bunch of garbage because there's so much of an opportunity to create from your favorite stars. There's so much of a story left to be told when it comes to Zed and Addison and their relationship. There's so much of a story yet to be told from folkloric history, and all you have to do is go back through the years of folkloric history, even if they go all the way back to the 16th century, which I did in folk literature. So much of an opportunity to tell a story that has yet to be told. There's never a point of finality reached with this kind of thing. You know, I don't buy into Dove Cameron saying on podcasts they told the story and they completed it. Using Cameron Boyce's death as pretty much an excuse to finish the story, because the story is never finished. A lifetime is represented by your legacy and how you want it to be defined. And whatever you want to be remembered for, or how you want your legacy to be defined through the eyes of whoever, or how you specifically want your legacy to be defined, there's never an opportunity where your final chapter is written, because there's always that opportunity to reach out and grab what I refer to as a proverbial brass ring and make the most of every opportunity. Life is like lemons, and when it gives you lemons, you just have to squeeze it to its last drop. And I can clearly see that a lot of you are doing that, and the millions and millions of Descendants fans who were out there supporting this one with endless amounts of support, pouring your hearts out for this franchise. Man, you guys are the most amazing fans in the world, and you blow my mind every single time. You never cease to amaze me with how loyal you are to a specific franchise, regardless if it's Descendants or Zombies. You know, it brings me back to when I was a huge fan of Hannah Montana years ago, and I love that show so much, and I love Wizards of Waverly Place so much. Very similar in a lot of ways. But when you see people like Kylie Control coming up for the premiere of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, the reboot of Wizards from years ago, it's just incredible. Such an inspiration to so many people. And I love them for everything they've done for each and every one of us and inspired us in countless amounts of ways. I will never forget this opportunity the Descendants and franchise gave me as a YouTube creator, and I will never forget each and every one of you for the love and support you have given this YouTube channel. And all that's left to be said is thank you. From one heart to another, thank you so much for never ever quitting on what you believe in. So what do you say we watch this interview together? It's Kylie Contrell shedding some light on her career, the direction of it. I thought it was a cool little TikTok video that I saw, and I've been becoming somewhat obsessed with TikTok because it's an amazing social media platform. The videos run for anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour long, but I find myself watching a lot of TikTok throughout the days. And I just wanted to watch this video with you. So if you get a minute, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button and show your love and support for this YouTube channel, because you guys are what's making this YouTube channel thrive, and I honestly can't thank you enough. So what do you say we watch this video together? So I have come to the conclusion that I am obsessed with TikTok like each and every one of you. I've been watching so much TikTok on the social media platform over the last couple of days that I am addicted to the videos. These 30-second to 5-minute long videos are so incredible. And yes, that's my Facebook page right there in that video. Guys, don't forget to follow me on social media to stay up to date on what's happening. Quality Control goes pretty in-depth in this interview. I'm only going to show you about a little clip of this because that's what was posted on TikTok, but it offers you some insight into her music and everything that she's had to go through in her career. She's done an absolutely fabulous job, and I thought it would show you this interview. So what do you say we watch this interview together? Don't forget to ring the bell to stay up to date with notifications, and I'm actually really excited to watch this interview with you. There's so much stuff on TikTok, so if you haven't signed up for it, you're probably going to want to do that.
I appreciate that. It is very, like, validating and cool when people, gravitate towards my music, because it is, like, it's coming directly from me and the most, like, authentic representation of me. So, because it's different with a character. Like, that's not really me. But, it is really special.
You know, Quality Control is so opinionated when it comes to different topics she's asked in these interviews, and she's very honest with everybody, interviewers, columnists, journalists, fans who put her in the place that she's in right now. And I don't think there's no better place for Quality Control to be at right now, which is obviously the top. 14 million copies of her EP sold worldwide. One of the biggest Disney stars ever to come out of that franchise. She's been on Raven's Home, Bizaardvark, Gabby Dern and the Unsittables, and now Descendants, which has skyrocketed to superstardom because of each and every one of you. Guys, thank you so much for following me on social media and staying up to date with what's happening. If you have not followed my conversation, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button for this YouTube channel because there's something here for everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching this video with me. Give me a second to switch back over and we will close this one out. Kylie has so much passion about everything that she does, and that's what gets me about Kylie. It never fails to amaze me every single time, just as much as how supportive each and every one of you are of either Descendants or Zombies gets me every single time. If anything, it captivates me, and it never ceases to amaze me just how loyal you are to these two respective franchises. No matter if you're a fan of Dove Cameron, Quality Control, Meg Donnelly, you never ever fail to captivate my heart in so many ways. Guys, there are so many critics out there about Descendants and Zombies who will find everything negative to say about it. But because you never ever quit on it, that's why it's so successful, and there are over 10 million fans of both respective franchises. A 6.2 rating for Zombies, a 6.4 rating for Descendants. So there's a 2% ratings war between them, which is pretty insignificant, which means they are both so popular. But I find that there are so many critics out there. Just about, about a week and a half ago, the Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires Place to Be music video premiered, and immediately it was the victim of criticism. Very few people found anything nice to say about it, so I said to myself I had to create something that was more positive about it and presented more of a positive vibe. And I got that accomplished with over 1,000 views in less than 24 hours, which made it one of the most highest rated Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires Place to Be music video reviews in the way reactions and thoughts and opinions and commentaries. And it happened not because I created it. It happened because each and every one of you supported it. And you subscribed to my YouTube channel with over 20 plus likes or something, over 1,000 plus views. It exceeded over 1,000 views. And this YouTube channel continues to amaze me and enthrall me every single day. It's been a thrill ride, if anything, a roller coaster ride where there's only one way to go from here, and that is up. I hope you continue to support this YouTube channel. I hope you think these videos are cool, because I mean it. I'm running for President of the United States, if not that, President of the Descendants and Zombies franchises, and I'm going to make Disney Plus mandatory in all homes for Americans. I'm going to make it happen. I'm from Canada. I don't know how I'm going to run for President of the United States or become the President of the Descendants franchise, but I'm going to make it happen for each and every one of you because all of you love this so much, and I can't thank you enough for the support and the love you've shown this YouTube channel. It is absolutely, absolutely incredible, and it never fails to blow my mind. So I'm going to upload this video. I'm going to hope that somebody's going to find time and hitting the subscribe button because this has been so much fun for me. What do you say we go spread some kindness? Bye, YouTube. We will do it again in a couple of days.